Jake Paul in the Octagon sounds like a wild dream, doesn't it? But it's a topic that has been lighting up the internet with fans, fighters, and experts weighing in. And of course, the man with one of the most respected voices in combat sports, Joe Rogan, has a lot to say about it. Joe Rogan, Jake Paul in the UFC, it's a fascinating idea. The kid has skills, but stepping into the octagon is a whole different ball game. What does Joe Rogan really think about Jake Paul's chances in the octagon? Let's break it all down. 1. The rise of Jake Paul. Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, has shocked the world with his journey. Many doubted him, but he silenced critics with a string of impressive wins. He beaten names like Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva, both former MMA champions. But here the thing, boxing is just one piece of the puzzle in MMA. So does Jake really have what it takes to survive in the UFC? 2. Joe Rogan expertise on MMA. Before diving into Joe Rogan opinion, let not forget who we're talking about. Joe isn't just a podcaster. He's been a martial artist, a UFC commentator, and a student of the fight game for decades. When it comes to MMA, his words carry serious weight. Joe Rogan, look, Jake is athletic, he young, and he hungry. But MMA isn't just about striking. It grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, clinching, it a brutal mix of everything. And this is where the debate gets interesting. 3. Jake Paul's skills, strengths, and weaknesses. First, let's look at Jake's strengths. He got power in his punches, undeniable confidence, and a strong work ethic. These traits have helped him rise quickly in the boxing world. Joe Rogan, Jake boxing is legit. He got good fundamentals, decent footwork, and he improving with every fight. But in MMA, that's just one piece of the game. Now hear the flip side. Jake has zero experience in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or Muay Thai, the core elements of MMA. Without these skills, he'd be like a fish out of water in the octagon. 4. Joe Rogan concerns about Jake Paul. Joe Rogan, the thing about MMA is you can't fake it. You can't just walk in there with boxing skills and expect to win. There are guys who've trained their entire lives in grappling. They'll take Jake down and finish him in minutes. Joe's main concern, Jake might not fully understand the level of danger he'd face in the octagon. In boxing, a referee separates fighters during a clinch, but in MMA that clinch could turn into a takedown and then into a chokehold. The stakes are higher and the margin for error is razor thin. 5. Can Jake Paul train for the octagon? Here where things get interesting. Jake Paul isn't blind to these challenges. In fact, he already hinted at making the transition to MMA. Jake Paul, I'm serious about this. I'm already training kicks, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. I want to prove people wrong again. Joe Rogan acknowledges Jake's potential to adapt, but with a big caveat. Joe Rogan, if Jake dedicates a few years to serious MMA training, he could do okay. But jumping in too soon, that's a recipe for disaster.